The golden rule of quotations is that all quotations, written or spoken, must be cited. However, successfully applying this rule requires knowing how to punctuate quotations in your writing. Here are the guidelines you need. First, when using a phrase to introduce a quote, set the phrase off with a comma. Example, Stottlemyre 2023 writes, quote, "A positive attitude can change the trajectory of your life." Close quote, page 2, period. Note that a comma sets off the phrase that introduces the quotation. Also note that in APA, the page number for the quote comes at the end of the quote. Second, when using an entire sentence to introduce a quote, end that sentence with a colon. Example, Foster 2023 believes that being reactive is not enough to bring happiness, colon. Quote, "A positive attitude is vital for creating a feeling of competence." Close quote, page 66, period. Note that in APA style, the publication year of the source always follows the author's name. This is true no matter where the author's name appears, whether inside the sentence or in parentheses at the end. Note that only the page number is required in parentheses when the author and publication year are used earlier in that sentence. When it comes to integrating quotations into the flow of your paragraphs, two basic rules apply. First, quotations should be combined with a phrase or a sentence of your own. In other words, avoid unattached quotations. These are quotes that are not part of one of your own sentences, or have no introduction. For example, here is an unattached quote. "One overlooked aspect of workplace success is executive presence." Quote, "Presence is the ability to connect authentically with others." Close quote, Halpern 2023. Now, although correctly cited, the quotation from Halpern lacks connection to the sentence before or after it. To correct this problem, you can combine the quote with the sentence before it. For example, "One overlooked aspect of workplace success is executive presence, which is," quote, "the ability to connect authentically with others." Close quote, Halpern 2023. A second correction is to use a speaker phrase. Here's one. "According to Halpern 2023, comma, open quotes, presence is the ability to connect authentically with others." Close quote. It's also possible to use only a phrase from a quotation inside your own sentence. For example, "One of the key steps in becoming a happy person is learning to use," quote, "divergent thinking." Close quote. Citation Foster 2023, page 134. Although only a brief phrase from the source was quoted, it still must be cited. Lastly, a quotation introduced by the word "that" or "as" does not need a comma or a colon to introduce it. Examples. The author argues that, quote, "a proactive attitude is necessary," close quote, "to create feelings of happiness." Foster 23, page 66. Another example. Divergent thinking can be defined as, quote, "the consideration of many prospects without a sole outcome in mind." Close quotes. Foster 2003, page 134. Finally, a common question is how many quotes can you use in a paper? There are two answers. First and foremost, always follow a teacher's or a publication's guidelines. Absent those, the general advice is to limit quotations to 10 to 15% of your total word count. Okay, good luck with your quotations.